Welcome to Conceive the Podcast, your resource for all things fertility, women's health and pregnancy, with your hosts, Jaya, Chinese medicine practitioner and Director of Natural Fertility Geelong, and me, Libby Morgan, Practice Manager and Jaya's friend. Today we're talking to Rosie Fitzclarence from Geelong Born about hypnobirthing. Rosie is a registered nurse and midwife and continues to work in this area while also running Geelong Born, a service focused on independent childbirth education and birth support. Rosie is also one of the loveliest people you will ever meet. Welcome, Rosie.
Oh, thank
Welcome.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jaya.
Let's get into it. Can you share a little bit more about your background and why you started Geelong Born?
Sure, Libby. So I've been a midwife for 16 years now and most of my time has been working here in Geelong, actually. Initially in Melbourne, a bit interstate, spent a bit of time nursing overseas, but yeah, most recently here in Geelong, and have worked in childbirth education really since the very beginning of my time as a midwife. And it probably wasn't really till I had my own children. Now, 10 years ago, my goodness, it made me really appreciate childbirth education. And 6 years ago, I embarked on this journey in childbirth education in a private setting, mainly through that one-on-one. That's how I originally started, actually, one-on-one with families in our home. And then branching out into hypnobirthing through the Hypnobirthing Australia program. I did my training through Melissa Spilstead, who's the director and founder, and found myself here now. Yeah, still going, these 6 years later.
So yeah, it's been 6 years, hasn't it? Because I feel like we may have met when I was starting my business and when you were starting your business.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day.
It's very similar timing.
Yeah.
And it's been wonderful. In Geelong, when I first started as a hypnobirthing practitioner, it was one of those very unknown forms, really, of birthing and preparation. Lots of questions from parents. They've maybe heard a little about,
I think that people
style of
wonder
birthing.
if they'll be in a hypnosis,
Yeah.
like just that word itself.
But it's, there is obviously that element of deep relaxation. But when you break it down and look at the course, it's actually really a small part of the course, actually, which is interesting. So the name, I think, can throw us off a little because you expect maybe this altered state and, which is beautiful, great aspect of the course, but it's certainly not the only one because I really see it as a toolkit. So you develop some great tools for relaxation, but it goes way beyond that. It covers lots of aspects in mindset, removing fears, partner support, and all the tools that you would expect with breathing, some affirmations and visualizations, instinctive birth. So movement, positioning. So those that love yoga often love hypnobirthing as well because it is working with the body. I have a lot of mothers attend my courses that have done yoga or movement or very fit and active and love that approach. They have this great trust in their ability to work physically with the sensations. But there's this, of course, the large component of working with our minds and how the mind does influence so much of the physical aspects of birthing. So
I didn't realise it encompasses
And it's really
so
interesting
much.
because I would imagine someone who does a lot of yoga is quite in touch with how their body moves and what feels really good instinctively. But it's really good for people who don't have a background in that to actually learn that birthing positions and getting into different positions can really be effective. I didn't know that until I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And it made so much sense later.
It's interesting because often I get that question, so how did you come into hypnobirthing? Do you have all this experience with hypnosis and hypnotherapy? And in fact, very little. I had to start from scratch. And I think if I can pick it up, then absolutely any person can. That's what I love about the course. It is quite simple. You want it to be simple when you're pregnant and especially in labour. You can't really take on these complex sort of new ideas. But I find these simple new approaches really do equate to great outcomes. Yeah.
And you cover the medical side as well, don't you?
Oh, Yes,
Hugely.
in very good detail. So as much as there's a focus on physiology and understanding how the mind, the hormones, uterus and cervix does work, there is a very large emphasis, and I do ensure that this is really passed on to the parents. We talk about all those birth variations that, especially in this day and age, we have medical input. Could be in our pregnancy or through birthing, but it's very important to get an idea of what the current health system here in Australia is like, so you can work with your care providers and have a really positive birth experience no matter how your baby comes into the world. So it's not just focused on natural birth. Probably chances are it's going to maybe turn out that way because you've got some good tools to navigate that path, but it's certainly not all about that. And I really do ensure there's a good discussion around caesarean section, assisted births, induction of labour. We cover all of this in the course. And I certainly don't measure outcomes on how a baby comes into the world. That's not it at all. It's just, that a mother has a really great, happy experience, that she's safe, her baby's safe, and they're able to look back on this big day with such affection and hopefully feeling really proud of themselves.
Actually, you said something to me when I was pregnant with Freddie, and I've never forgotten it, and I repeat it now to women all the time. I'd had an emergency Caesar with Eli, and then we were discussing whether I was going to have a VBAC or I was going to have another elective caesarean, and I ended up booking in the caesarean, but I felt so much guilt and shame about it. And you said an empowered birth is being empowered in your decision making, not just how the baby is born. And I was like, that is so true. Just feeling, and I say this to women all the time, is that feeling informed and feeling like you played a big role in that decision is so important. That it really doesn't matter whether you chose to have an epidural or you did something that felt right for you.
And there are so many decisions to make along the way. And you both know that through conception and that moment you get those, the positive line that pop up on your pregnancy test or the likes. It opens up all these possibilities, but also some really daunting choices and decisions that need to be made. That's why I feel so there is that importance of really understanding these options. I'd never tell a mother or a partner, a couple what to do, but hopefully I can break it down for them and give them some ideas.
And it's so
how
good
to
for
navigate
the partners.
this time.
So good. And I hear couples say all the time, especially like him or the supporting partner was just, oh my God, I learnt so much. I didn't realise there was so much to birth. It's not all about the vagina.
And I think, that's why I love hypnobirthing, because it's not just directed solely at the birthing mother. It is the partner. The partner is such a crucial element, in the birth experience. And I really hope that the partner comes away feeling excited and empowered and really well equipped with some good handy tools for the day. Not just the day though.
The lead up.
The lead up. It's massive. And, what comes after that, in those days, months, years ahead. So,
I think that's incredible that you cover the Western side and what's going on. And because if you haven't been in the system before, how do you know what different birth modes are and when to make decisions? And
that's right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I think there's many hypnobirthing programs globally, even in our neck of the woods, and maybe each practitioner has their own little style of, imparting knowledge and giving that education. But maybe it's my hospital background. And I do still work in the hospital environment, and I want parents to be up to date, and I want to provide relevant information to them. So I'm certainly not, I'm well aware of some of the challenges actually. It is hard to have a baby.
So your course is quite unique in the way that you've put it together.
Well, the courses, it has been put together by Melissa Spilstead. There's now many practitioners that teach this wonderful program in Australia. I think there's over 200, maybe 300 now.
Yeah,
but I think because I've been teaching a little while, I've been able to put my little mark on it and being in Geelong too, having worked here for a while and have...
You've got a good understanding of what these women will be experiencing in whatever hospital they choose to.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to give information about birth. I think we are so designed and built for this job of having a baby. We are very well equipped, but I also know that there are some situations where a mother might need medical support in this. It is a fine line that I tread really between giving this information, but also not scaring women too.
Yeah, it really is a fine line, isn't it?
It really is. I want mums to be really well resourced, and have that information, but also not be daunted by this undertaking. So, I think...
Is it a lot of first-time mums, or do you get people coming back for their second?
Surprisingly, I get, probably that's what we expect with childbirth education, that it's your typical first-time parents that would attend the course. But so many second time, third time, even fourth time, parents that have done it, before, but just want to try something different, this time.
Or if they've had a birth experience that hasn't been good, can that be really helpful in preparing?
And this is actually, we know that, especially this year, statistics, the data comes out, the perinatal data, and unfortunately something that's coming up now is trauma in our birth experiences, and there is an increasing amount of women that identify their previous births as being traumatic, and lots of contact from mothers saying, I want to do something different this time. I want to feel heard. I want to feel more involved and get a greater understanding of not just what my body can do, but how I can advocate for myself and how my partner can support me without feeling lost or without strategies. So
I think it's been hard during COVID as well, where women can't have their doula in there. They're really restricted and how they can birth.
And I think anyone that's had a baby in the last couple of years, they're just
so busy as well.
Yeah, they really are. It's been the hardest time. So much of it breaks our hearts, doesn't it? When I know it's horrible. What parents, it's just a tough time. Has been a tough time. Things are much improved now, but especially 2020 was tricky for many.
Do you think it's turning around?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Let's do a little breakdown of what the course actually involves.
Sure. Yeah.
Or what people might be able to expect.
Yeah. I suppose just firstly, the course is pretty well set up. So there's many ways in which you can attend a hypnobirthing course. So there's the full course, which the way I do it
goes for a weekend?
Goes for I do it over 2 Sundays.
Oh.
I like to break it up. Yeah.
Oh, so they don't have to do it there.
Yeah.
The whole one.
My ideal is to do it over 2 days with a bit of space in between, just to let that information settle. Yeah. And then come back after a week and go again. Yeah. With the second half.
And there'd be more questions.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And I think it's really nice to see that. Yeah. There is a bit of just by the end of the first day, often there's a real sort of confidence that starts to, it's really quite palpable in the room. You see this change in, perceptions and, just the attitudes, of the parents attending. But so there's the full course, which is actually 12 hours. Yes. So 6 hours on the first, 6 hours on the second. And this is probably most couples that I'll see in a group capacity. So anywhere from 5, 6, sometimes up to 8, but it's usually a little less than that. I do private, and there's also an online course. Yeah.
And is the private still the 12 hours?
Yeah, so mainly. Yeah. I encourage people to do the full because I feel there's actually, obviously, it's a very comprehensive course, so it sounds ridiculous. 12 hours, what don't you talk about in that time?
That's a big thing.
But it really is, important that we do this as much as we can in its the full content, private or group. 12 hours. If someone comes to me at 36 weeks and says, "Oh my gosh, Rosie, I really want to do hypnobirthing," we might be able to work something out. But
little expressive.
But where possible.
When is the ideal time?
Oh, anytime, really.
Okay.
I actually think earlier better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so some people would say to me, oh, if I do it too early, I'm going to forget everything.
No, because actually now the course, there's a whole online component to that. So you do a face-to-face with me, and then you have your online resources. So you have all your tracks, it's videos, it's amazing folio of resources. So there's lots there to keep your cup going. There's certainly it's not going to be forgotten because, there's plenty there for those, that ongoing learning and preparation. And of course there'll be some things, the tuition, that time spent with me might fade a little, but those really important tools are only going to be further developed. And
because you'll be practicing and working
it
on
actually
them.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So if someone's really, especially if they're really wanting to master those relaxation, the sort of the hypnosis components, then come early. And many will come as early as 20, 22, 24 weeks. But look, just lives are busy. Sometimes it's not until 35 weeks, and that's all right. It still works. It's still amazing. Great outcomes. But just how it fits with lives and busy schedules, and the weekends are precious. Some people find that's tricky with life and work and all the rest. But if you're looking for a sweet spot, maybe anywhere between sort of 24 and 34 weeks.
Okay.
That's a pretty big
pretty
range.
broad, isn't it? Yeah.
So you cover Western medicine, all the physiological stuff, and then meditation? Is that...
So, that structure you're talking about, I'll just quickly talk about that through the course. So we've got 4 units. First unit, mindset. So start with understand the mind-body connection. So we go into what this whole hypno thing is about. We start to understand hormones, which is, I love talking about hormones. I'm a little bit, you both are. I know hormones are fascinating. Once you understand the role of oxytocin, endorphins, etc., then, that's a win. You can use this to your advantage. We talk about environment and the hospital is like. This is actually really powerful stuff. It's easy to control your environment, I have to say, much more than many parents realise. Language, we discuss that. And of course, with that comes a bit of switching things up, how we look at pain, how we look at contractions. And there is some language around even just the term contraction versus surge or wave. Some parents like to change that because there's a negative association with some of the common language around birth. So there's options there. But then we move into affirmations, and then the toolkit is unit 2. So toolkit's fun, I have to say. Toolkit is when we get really practical. Partners often get a lot out of this one because we go into techniques such as light touch, anchor touch, acupressure. Yes, this is where there's always that little tie-in with acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine.
I like it when people have done hypnobirthing because they know a lot about acupressure.
Yeah.
And their partners are often doing it at home.
Yeah.
When we're doing a lot of birth prep.
Yeah. So it's great. And it's all about, these are marvellous pain relieving techniques. These are great for labour, but there is some points that can help boost oxytocin, prepare the body, and it really is that great prep for partners as well on those last days and weeks. So that's good. We also move into the really important breathing techniques. Time and time again, mums will say after their births, it was such a simple thing to learn, but those breathing techniques meant the world to me. And
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. In any type
in my
of
first birth.
Exactly.
I think as soon as you start to feel pain, your natural reaction is to hold your breath almost. So to be able to breathe through pain is a bit of a skill to learn that.
It is. And that's why I think the breathing techniques, they are quite simple. I said that before, you want something that's not too complicated. But they're just so effective. And that's the whole idea, is if we are able to let go of tension, that we can work with our body, we can ride those waves more effectively. And the breathing's useful, very useful.
And the mindset, so being able to surrender. I think we were talking about this before, that I feel like a lot of women, even up until right when they're due, are just going fast at things. Our lives are so busy.
Yes.
And we're used to just pushing ourselves. So just being able to stop. I feel like a lot of women now don't really take much of a mat leave beforehand, or they're not very comfortable in doing nothing. So to get into that space can be hard. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
I think I was still painting my house at 40 weeks.
Me too.
Oh my God, you two.
We all do
But
it.
upon reflection, after having
I
a
know.
child, I wish I had have been kinder to myself at that time.
Yeah. And it is such a shift, isn't it? That transition from, busy professional life, this is something so typical of your first pregnancy, to wind up, mat leave rolls around, like twiddling your thumbs.
And it's not an endurance thing to show you that you can do it all.
Yeah. It's, that busyness, yeah.
And I think when we come back to those hormones too, just at least your brain telling your body that you're relaxed to start producing those hormones is so important.
Absolutely. So
Got to find your way of getting there. That's why it's good to have a toolkit.
yes,
And I think as well, because you don't know who's going to come out in labour, like who you are as a normal person, then who you're going to be in labour could be different. I say this all the time, that maybe you don't like being touched normally, but maybe in labour you do want to be touched, or the opposite.
Yeah, I'd go into this with the touch techniques because we are all such different creatures, aren't we? Some women adore and that light touch or the any of those techniques provided by their partner, it's just fantastic. It makes them feel calm, relaxed. But for the next woman, it might be hideous. It might not be their thing. So you choose what works for you, and if it's not effective, you move on to the next tool. It's totally fine. Yeah,
And that's why I say to
always
people
options.
to just
Yeah.
be open to it. I don't
Give it a
usually
go.
like a TENS
Yep.
machine, but in
Yeah.
labour, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
You talk about TENS machines as well, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
heaps.
the TENS are just an easy little.
They're so good.
Yeah, tool. I have to admit, I feel like a bit of a phony with this. It wasn't so good for my labour.
Wasn't it?
Didn't like it at all.
That's the interesting thing,
meanwhile,
isn't it?
I'll always refer back to the TENS, and it's such a wonderful pain reliever for most women. There I was, my first. I tried it for a little while, but quickly whipped it off because it wasn't so good. Give me the shower, over the TENS. But who knows? We're all different. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Labour and birth, but
Are there many stats on birth outcomes for people who have done hypnobirthing?
Do you know there was a brilliant study, is it 2016-17 in Sydney, looking at childbirth education with complementary therapies included in this. I'm not sure if you're aware. So Kate Levitt is a TCM practitioner and she's a PhD and all that kind of jazz. She led this study and it included relaxation, it included mindset, it was partner support, positioning, upright postures, almost like those yoga type elements, and acupressure. Big part of it was acupressure. And the findings from this study was fantastic. Yeah, it basically halved the epidural rates. Even length of labour was shortened, and there was more. Physiological, so normal vaginal births occurring. That study really reaffirmed really to Hypnobirthing Australia that this is our program, and this is what we teach. It's evidence-based, and it was ticks all the boxes. Hypnobirthing Australia really does stand by that study and reinforces that outcomes are improved when you use all these strategies for prep.
Yeah, we have some similar sort of studies, but with acupuncture, a lot of it is preparing and that lead up, but on the day, being able to draw from a different tool is important.
Yeah.
So once you've gone through the toolkit module,
that's so good.
where do you go to next?
So that's so if a couple attends that first day, that's the first day, big package. You covered the foundations, you got your toolkit. Have a week off, let it settle, and then you come back for day 2. And day 2 is, it's really going to expand upon likely in that sort of whole self-hypnosis realm. So we do begin with birth preferences. There's a discussion around whether you want to use birth preferences like a birth plan, so how to communicate with your caregiver. And then we get into the nitty-gritty. And this is, I actually really enjoy teaching this part of the course, and this is where I go into probably what you would expect from any childbirth education program, pain relief options. But then I'll talk about induction of labour, assisted birth, so that's vacuum and forceps, and caesarean section, and why some mothers choose or require a caesarean in a planned way, scheduled birth, or even something that happens unplanned. So we talk about all of that and partner's role is, and how we can apply those tools that we've learned through hypnobirthing to the
I even found it
unique
effective
births.
in a cesarean.
So effective.
I was so relaxed.
And that's,
That's good.
Yeah.
what I've been doing
And
a
it can be
lot
scary.
more of in the last couple of years is teaching the positive cesarean course.
Okay.
After this was even an option.
I don't think it was
I don't think it was
an
an
option
because
then.
I think it was probably only a short while ago.
No.
Yeah. So I did the extra training to become certified positive cesarean practitioner. So it's really just the same as what you'd expect as the standard course. But for couples that have a planned cesarean coming up, they might come to me. It's always just one-on-one, private, but we use all the hypnobirthing tools and techniques and apply it to a cesarean birth. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more of that lately, and I love that. It's just 4 hours.
It's good to know there's an option, because I think for women sometimes when they have that coming up, they think,
Totally.
well, it's not going to be effective for me.
That's it. So I think there's always, I don't know, maybe it's care providers, or maybe it's just our attitudes in general, but it's thought if you have a cesarean, if you're having a cesarean, then you don't need to do your labour preparation or anything like that, or any form of education, because you're not going to need it. But in fact, with a cesarean birth comes a whole new sort of,
And it can be really
set of
daunting
challenges.
just laying there on the table and there's just so
Yeah.
much going on around you, even though everyone in there is really amazing.
Yeah. So, talk about those breathing techniques, environment, partner support, post-birth recovery, all of that stuff. Yeah, and it's fun. So that's always an option too. But a bit shorter, 4 hours. Yeah, 4
good.
hours.
And that's private. One-on-one.
There's also online version of that too. But there's always
There's so many options.
so many
now.
options. And so if if there's ever a couple that is a bit confused with all these options, just give me a call.
That's what I always say.
Just call me.
Call her and tell her what you
Just
want.
shoot me an email. I'll help you. But then I suppose that last part of the full course is bringing it all together. And with that unit 4, the last, it is breaking down the labour process, understanding the signs of labour progression through early labour, when to contact your midwife, go to the hospital, what it's like when you arrive, all the way through to birthing, placenta, cord clamping, important stuff. A little bit on afterbirth with feeding, golden hours after birth. But a big part of Unit 4 is also something called the fear release. So we do think of it like a meditation in a way, but it's just an opportunity for anyone participating in the class to let go of any negative thoughts, any reservations, any fears that they have, and they just do this quite independently without anyone ever asking any questions. But you can just clear away anything that feels not serving you anymore. Say goodbye.
Beautiful.
So
just
good.
through
And you
relaxation.
can redo that exercise.
Yes, absolutely. So the fear release could be things about birth or labour. It could be just how life's going to be different with a little human.
Yeah, last couple of weeks in the lead up to birth, it can be a lot being processed.
And I actually think it's a great little thing, it's a powerful thing for those mothers. Maybe with their partner, they can do it together. But repeat a fear release in that time of awaiting.
It's good for the partner too, because
arrival.
they might have a fear too.
That's exactly
about watching
right.
their partner or friend
Yeah.
in birth.
So it's
Sometimes they get forgotten.
Often I get that feedback is they didn't understand how powerful it would be for their partner. Yeah. And that confidence. It actually is quite an empowering, almost brings this greater sense of confidence, to an individual. So it's
I actually see a change often with couples after they've done a course like that.
Yeah.
Is that the partner's just really involved then?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you done this? Have you done your meditation tonight? I'm going to do the acupressure. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah. They just find their voice a little
Which
more.
is good.
I think it is hard for a birth partner to be in that space. Sometimes hospitals are completely foreign environments and a bit scary too, because there's lots of people getting around that you don't know, and they all know shit that maybe
and
don't.
hospitals have an association with being sick.
Yeah.
Even though you go and
sounds
birth and you're not sick.
They're
But
talking a different language sometimes too. It's just giving them a few helpful little tips to advocate, help the mother communicate through this time.
great. Have we covered everything,
I
Libby?
think we have covered everything. That's been amazing.
Anything else we need to know?
I
Probably
suppose,
lots.
yeah, there's probably lots. One thing that just does come to mind quickly, and while I'm on the topic of birth partners, sometimes mums, pregnant women will come to me and they'll say, I really want to do the course, but through circumstances. It might be that they've already got a little one at home, childcare, work, and it's really hard for both of them to attend. Or sometimes mums just want to come along by themselves.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fine, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
So actually it's really lovely when mums come along flying solo. Maybe they'll take back that information to their partner, whatever, but never feel like it's something
maybe
you
they're
have to do
single
together.
mothers.
Yeah. Lots of mums, just
That's really good to know, actually.
yeah, really important.
Because I
And
wonder if
there's
I didn't have a partner,
usually-
whether I would feel
Yeah.
daunted by coming into a group situation without someone.
Yeah. So it's quite common that I'll have, women attending by themselves, or they'll bring along a girlfriend, or they'll bring along,
Mum.
a mum. Yeah, definitely. And it's really great to have, those grandmothers. Yeah, another sort of perspective there is cool. So that's probably just one thing I'd say is, everyone's welcome.
So we'll link your details. So if people have more questions, they can
Email you and get in
ask
contact.
you directly.
Please.
Thanks so much,
Oh,
Rosie.
it's been so lovely. Thank you for having me. It's been a delight.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend, subscribe where you listen, or head to Apple to rate and review. You will find the show notes on our website, conceivethepodcast.com.au, and can follow us on Instagram at conceive_podcast, where you can also leave questions for future episodes.